It's been a little over 2 years since I left my job to do this full time. And when I first left my job, almost everyone reacted as if I had done something amazing. Almost as if this was something that they had wanted to do for the longest time, but for whatever reason, couldn't. If you clicked on this video, chances are that you feel the same way. So if you're someone that feels stuck, wanting to make a switch into a field that is completely different, but just cannot muster up the courage to send in that resignation email, or worse yet, tell your parents that you want to quit and do something that truly calls you, this video is for you. I want to cover two broad topics in this video. How to quit your job confidently and how to convince your parents for a career shift. Let me first tell you that it's possible. Whatever it is that you want to do, maybe you want to be a full-time traveler, you want to be a DJ, you want to be a dancer, whatever it is that you want to do, it is possible. That being said, there's a reason why salaries are called a drug. The promise of a monthly paycheck is a very compelling reason to not leave your job. And that is the very first step to planning your quitting. Money. You're afraid to leave your job, not because you can't find another one or you really love it, but because the idea of having no money scares you. Maybe you want to buy things, you have responsibilities, bills to pay, people to take care of that you won't be able to if you don't have your current salary. To solve for that, you need to build a runway. A runway is a certain amount of money that is immediately available to you to help you afford your existing lifestyle for an extended period of time. This is also called an emergency fund. If you are in a full-time job, this is generally recommended to be 6 months. But this runway, if you want to quit, has to be much longer. For me, it was 3 years. That meant that for almost a year and a half, I aggressively saved up to ensure that at my existing cost of living, I could survive for 3 years without having to worry about any money at all. In the pandemic, I was still living with my parents, and my monthly expenses came out to be about 30,000 a month. So over the course of a year and a half, I almost saved my entire salary in order to save up close to 10 lakh rupees that would last me for almost 3 years during my time of figuring out this new career switch. More than the money itself, what a runway really does is help you not be desperate. Not just that, it helps you make better decisions, because desperation is the worst mindset to be in when you want to take decisions that will impact you long term. I recommend that you have at least 2 years worth of runway. It takes you about a year to really figure out what it is that you're doing and how you'll be making money consistently doing that thing. But you should also keep into account that there might be investments or things that you want to buy in order to facilitate this career switch. It might be a new laptop, a new phone, some equipment. For me, it was cameras, mics, monitors, a new computer. And having about 2 years of runway is more than sufficient to factor in all of those things. Now, once you have your runway, you're more than halfway there to your dream career. But we're still not over a very important question. What is it that you'll be doing once you leave it? That is the golden question. What should I be doing now? If you were like me, you're more motivated for leaving your job than you are to doing something. I don't recommend doing that. I don't recommend quitting your job before you have figured out what it is that you want to be doing. A very good exercise is this Japanese concept called ikigai. Ikigai is an exercise for you to find out your purpose in life. It is the intersection of something that you love doing, something that the world needs, something that you're good at, and something that you can be paid for. I recommend starting off with what you love. For me, it was 4 things. I love cooking, I love basketball, I love working out, and I love watching YouTube. As I dug deeper, I realized that logically, YouTube has to be the answer. And the more I researched, the more I realized that there's an entire economy that now is called the creator economy, where you can find a ton of different opportunities that potentially can be very lucrative. And now at this point, you are financially prepared to quit, meaning that you're not afraid of going broke. And you know what to do next. But we're still not over the most challenging part of the problem yet. Living in India, trying to convince your parents to let you do this thing. If you think about the problem from a first principles approach, your parents are not wanting to force you into a certain career. They just don't want the risk. They don't want the risk of you failing and not being happy. They don't want the risk of other people mocking you, or them for that matter, for the choices that you have made. And if you think about it, all of those things come down to just one thing: money. If you start magically making as much money as you're making right now, doing something totally different, I bet that they wouldn't even bat an eye, simply because you have nothing to lose. And that's exactly what you need to be doing. You need to show them that you have more to gain from this choice than to lose. And the way that you do that is to just talk to them. Talk to them about that podcast that you're listening to that talks about opportunities and revenues and incomes of people who are doing what you want to be doing in the future. Show them that video that you're watching on YouTube that talks about how much freelancers make and how they can make potentially more than how much you're making in your salary right now. Talk to them about why you think this is a good option for you. If your conviction in what you want to do is extremely high, they will come around eventually. Convincing your parents is not so much about waiting for their approval to do something, but doing it regardless because you believe in it so deeply. Which brings me to my last point. There's this graph that I really like that talks about the relative importance of people in your life as you grow older. In the early parts of our life, we heavily give weightage to our friends simply because we're spending more time with them. But you realize that as you graduate and you start your job and you start your life, your friends don't always have as much time for you as they did before. And you don't have as much time for them as you did before. But you know who will always be there for you? Your family. So if you are looking to make the switch, and if you are still in school or college or in those younger ages of your life, make sure that you try as much as possible to communicate with your family why this decision is so important to you. There's this quote that I really like. We hugely overestimate what is possible in a year and underestimate what is possible in 10. Today you might feel like you are nowhere, but if you just put your head down, be consistent, and keep showing up, it is amazing what all can be achieved just by doing those few things. So if you like this video and you are also looking to quit your job to hopefully enter the creator economy in some shape or form, and you're still unsure, drop your comments below. I would love to answer your questions and help you however I can to help you make that switch. If you have any other questions related to content, creator economy, how to make better videos, do let me know down below, and I would love to help you out. I hope this video was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.